everyone, and welcome to the Red Brick House. My name is Susan and I love to make things on this channel. I do all kinds of different crafts, so if you're interested in different crafts, please consider subscribing to my channel. It would just mean the world to me, and I hope you enjoy this video. And so what I have today is I'm making another easy quilted throw. That's what I'm calling it. I made one video already where I had purchased a kind of a patchwork that's already sewn together for you, and then you just put it together and you quilt it. Well, this is kind of similar, so let me show you this fabric that I found. This is one of the fabrics I got in my craft haul, and this was on sale at Hobby Lobby for 40% off. And let me show it to you. I'm just going to hold it up. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? I love all these different colors, and I like that the colors are kind of muted for fall. I think it's just beautiful. And it has little lines on it where you can see like fake stitch work. And so I'm going to be stitching this one completely different than the last one that I made. And so I'm going to be using this fabric. And then I got just some cotton batting here, just some quilt batting or wadding for the middle. And then I got this for the back. And it's just cute little prints of chickens and maple leaves and just some little dots. It's so cute. I'm going to bring it closer so you can see a little bit better. It's so cute for fall, I think. And so this one, like I said, this one's going to be quilted completely different. So let's get started cutting this out and getting it put together. And then I'll show you how I'm going to quilt it. Okay, so I have my little quilt sandwich here. This is the backing here, and this is the top. I have the back layer a little bit bigger, and then my batting is underneath, kind of way under here, because what I want to do in the end is I'm going to fold that over and then fold it over again, and that will lay right up against my batting that's under there, and my seam will just go right through here. And that will be my edge. And so for this quilt, what I want to do, let me bring you in. So you can see here where there's like kind of little fake stitch lines on these pieces. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to follow those lines. And then we'll kind of see what that looks like. The other quilt I did where I had the top piece already, manufactured, it was already sewn together, that one was actually pieced together. This one is more, it's more flat. I don't know. These pieces were just printed like this rather than being actually sewn together. So in that one, I could just stitch across and follow the seam line. But on this quilt, I can't do that because it's just printed on there. So I think this will be kind of interesting to see how this turns out. And so I'll show you the thread that I'm going to use. I'm using this thread. It's the same thread that I used in the other one. I think I'm going to call it the other one because that's what I keep calling it. I think I'm going to call it the scarecrow blanket because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like what a scarecrow would wear. And then, but I'm using the same the same thread that I'm using for that one. Now, I purchased this at a local quilting store that we have here in town. And this is called Wonderful Fruititi Collection. And I thought it was just really nice fall colors. Then I'm just using a standard quilting needle, and I'm also waxing my thread with just a piece of old beeswax candle. There's no other kind of wax in here. These are candles I bought at a bee farm, and they make their own candles with their beeswax. And so I'm pretty certain that there's no other kind of waxes in with this, but it works really well. I have noticed that waxing this thread really helps a lot. I also waxed the thread that I used for my placemats when I was using the all-purpose thread, and that helped tremendously, especially with that thread, because it's so thin and small. This thread is a little thicker. I don't have a size 12 weight. That's what this one is, and so it's a little bit thicker than, you know, your standard like all-purpose thread. And so, okay, I think I have everything ready here. And I think I'm going to start stitching. This is going to take ages. It may be next fall before, you know, this is done. I don't know. But I'm going to give it a try anyway. So I'm going to zoom back out so you can see better. And I'm going to get to the corner where I want to start. It's kind of hard to decide where to start. Like I said, this is going to fold over, and then that's going to fold over again. I could put a line through here, kind of where I want to start, but I think I'm just going to start on the edge, and we'll see how it goes. I hope it doesn't look disjointed on the back side once I complete this. Actually, I'm going to start over here and work my way in this little corner. My table is getting very cluttered with creativity here. I've got a lot of projects on the go right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stitch this little corner here. I'm going to start underneath these fabrics so that my knot will be hidden inside there. Okay, and then, like I said, I'm just going to follow these little stitch lines. Whoops. This fabric is really nice to stitch through. I'm going to make kind of smaller stitches than what I made like before on my other quilts. If I can keep that consistency, I think that will help it to make it look a little nicer. Okay, now let's see how that looks. Well, you can barely even see it through here. I'm going to keep going, and then I'll zoom in really close once I get finished with that little square so you can see better. But I do love to hand stitch. You could do this on your machine if you wanted to. And I had really kind of contemplated that. And if I get in a bind, I might do that, but I don't think this particular thread would go in my machine. So then my threads wouldn't be the same. And I do love to hand stitch things. And I try really hard not to rush my projects, even the projects that I'm making for YouTube here, because that takes the fun out of it, you know, when you're trying to rush through it because you have to finish a video. And I don't want to do that, because then I won't enjoy it as much as I would if I'm just doing it for pleasure, you know. When you put limits on yourself, time limits on yourself like that, then it becomes work and it's not as much fun. Okay, see, I already finished that little square. So that didn't take long at all. So I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see it better. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. So you can kind of see the little stitches in there. I think they just blend in with the other little printed stitches on there. So let's see what it looks like on the back. Whoops. It's kind of funny because you can kind of see, you can see my little, like a little L shape there. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I really hope that it doesn't look disjointed on the back when I'm done. If it does, I guess I could just go through and kind of connect the lines of stitching to make it look a little bit better, maybe. I'm not sure. I will cross that bridge when I get there, I guess. So now I'm just going to kind of go down like I was doing a row. I'm just going to kind of keep following this, maybe a section about like this, about a 6-inch section. And I'm just going to go until I get to the end, and then I'll come back and I'll just do the next section. And then that way I can keep it rolled up and kind of keep it contained while I'm working on it. It doesn't take up so much room on my table. Okay, so the next place I want to go, that's another thing. Should I tie it off, or should I just kind of, yeah, I'm going to tie it off. That's another thing, is that you could get into where you were like, oh, I'm going to hop over here and do this one because I'm close. But I think I'm just going to be doing a lot of tying off. So a smaller amount of thread would probably be much better to do now that I'm thinking about that. I'm sorry, I'm going through this process as I'm talking my way through it here, as I'm thinking about how I want to do it. But that's just how I do things on this channel. I try new things in hopes that it might give you some ideas and see how it turns out. Most of the time they turn out fine. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep stitching, and maybe when I get this whole section done here, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've made quite a bit of progress. I've made it about maybe 1.5 feet into the quilt here. And it's a little bit, I wouldn't say difficult, but it is different because you are starting and stopping. And you do kind of have to plan a little bit. And sometimes I forget sections, like right here. Let me bring you in closer. Like right here, I kind of like forgot that section. So I'll have to go back and fix that. But what I've been doing, because I don't stitch, I'm right-handed, so I don't stitch this way very well. So what I've been doing is I'll just kind of find a line and I'll just go up and try to keep going kind of as far as I can in just kind of a weird pattern, and then I'll come back and fill in what I didn't get the first time. And that way I'm not trying to go like around a square and sewing like backwards for me. And that has helped a lot. I think it's really pretty, and I think it's going to give me the look that I want once it's washed. But it is taking a bit more time because I do have to start and stop a lot. I think if I was going to do this again, I think I would do it a different way. I think I would just make mark out my lines and just go straight across and up and down, make a grid. Or I may make some diagonal lines, or maybe just some crazy, just let my needle wander over the fabric until it was quilted enough where I didn't think everything would move around in there. So I don't know. Tell me what you would have done if you were doing something like this. I would love to hear if you've ever quilted a pre-made top like this before, or something that looked like this before. I would love to hear how you did it, or how you would do it if you were working on something like this, because I love to hear different ideas, because someone else might think of something totally different that I didn't think of. And so I love just to share ideas on this channel. So if you have a different idea, please let me know in the comments below. I thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to probably end it here. I'm going to keep working on it, and then when I'm finished with all 3 of my fall quilts, I will put them all together in a video, and I will show them all to you and how they look, and I will show you how I'm going to put them in my living room. And so yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. I upload videos every Thursday and sometimes on Sunday. Right now, I have just been uploading on Thursday because I have these long projects going on. And if I keep making other little projects in between, I won't have time to get these finished. So right now, it's kind of a busy time of year also with school starting. I homeschool my daughter, and so that has taken up, you know, quite a bit of my time. And that's the most important thing to me, is spending time with her. And so that takes precedence over everything else right now. And so anyway, I'm going to stop talking. And I hope you're having a fantastic day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.